opposed to this lovely, laughing, chubby, beautiful woman who's just natural. Look, see the image here. She's posed, Sunday, and this one here.
You can also see the expression on the face.
Yeah.
That one there is really cold and it's very like, look at me.
Yeah.
With this one, she's smiling.
Yeah. Totally natural.
It's more about something. It's all about me. That's what the sun.
There's lots of photoshopped images of our sisters in the city here that for me are fairly distressing images. They're disproportionate, and I know from talking with my sisters that it doesn't represent them. If anything, it makes some of them feel really bad about themselves, and it has a negative effect on them. Is there anything you'd like to say about that?
Especially young girls today. They're supposed to be this, perfect, statuesque. It's like society puts on you what you're supposed to be like, what you're supposed to look like, what you're supposed to say, everything. It's like the whole world, the whole society is geared towards what we're supposed to be, not what we are. We're divorced from who we are and what we are, the natural.
What would we be without this sort of artificial overlay? What we'd be this? We'd be real. Real.
We'd be real.
Yep.
And we'd be interacting with each other on a more real sort of a level.
So that artificial overlay is something that disconnects us from each other and ourselves, yeah?
Because then you concentrate. Every morning when you get up, you look in the mirror and you say, oh my God, society's not going to like this. So quickly, let's wash up. Let's put the makeup on. Let's dress up according to what they would think would be appropriate. So you haven't got time to really connect with who you are. Hey, I'm alive, I'm here today, and so you haven't got time to think of who you are and that you're breathing, that you're alive.
And whilst my sisters are hurting, okay, it affects the way you interact with me as a brother, okay? So I'm hurting too. Like the artificial overlay is affecting us all. It's disconnecting us all, and I'd like to see some sort of progressive solutions, some outcomes that see us collecting and connecting. And one of the things I saw today, Sister Susannah, really, really beautiful, was that coconut oil or coconut cream and food dye. Can you show us? Yeah, because I think that's
I was, you know, something about the fact that we're talking about, don't buy stuff from the shops, don't the big shops, don't start making your own stuff. And people don't realize that they say, oh, how can I do that? Exactly, that's what the system has done, it's disconnected us from making things for ourselves. So they took that away from us. They took our grandparents away from us, and they put us into schools. Our grandparents taught us how to look after our body, how to look after our soul, how to connect to Mother Earth. They've taken it away from us. So
the elders, we used to talk to the elders, and they would show us the way.
And then they
teach us about medicine. It's about making. If you want makeup, well, you can make it yourself. You don't have to buy into the corporate world. Which is cancer making, all the chemicals. They kill you. You know.
So I got some a container, an empty container, and I put some coconut oil, raw coconut oil, and then I added from the health food store. I added some coloring food with some red and a little bit of yellow in it, and then I just mixed it all together, and I made lipstick.
And look how gorgeous she is.
Look at that, brothers and sisters.
This is our stunning Susannah Augustine.
That's amazing.
Ta-da!
And healthy.
And if I would buy this at the shop, it would cost me about $40 because it's organic. It's organic, but it's not really because they still put stuff in it. So why can't you do it? You've got the stuff in your kitchen. Do it yourself.
And I use coconut oil in my hair. Like I'm 58 nearly, and I should be grey. I use it in my hair as a tonic. I use it on the floor for polishing. You don't need to go
This is not about the just about makeup or whatever. It's as we were talking before about wars. We are in war. Everybody has their own war. Like the activists out that they're talking about human rights. Rodney up in with his own people, although he's in his country, but he's still in a war zone because he's fighting for his culture. Not only fighting to keep his culture, but telling his own people that we got to stick together. It is important to us. Us as women, we are in our own war of what society expects us and what we should look like. And if I'm getting older, I have to make sure that my wrinkles aren't shown. Because the rest, oh my God, she's getting old. No, these are the lines of my life. And also the fact that of what to buy. My kitchen is a war zone because my boys want Coke and they want KFC and they want this and that all packaged up. And I am trying to give them something that is natural. So we are all in a war. It doesn't matter
and so
where
are
we
brothers. I mean, you're expected to play your part. You're given a role too. And that's damaging. It's going against who we are. But all you ever see on TV is the beautiful white, the perfect white people. Now, what does that do for Indigenous people, coloured people, people of other races? What's that say to them? Well, to be perfect, you've got to be white.
Or people with spina bifida. Or
anybody.
Yeah.
Disabled people.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yep.
So image, there's two images. If you look out, this is what you're going to look like. There is no expression. It's just about, I am looking all right for them. But if you look within,
you get
then
this.
You accept yourself and you
that smile radiates.
Yes. Then you become in awe because you see truth and you see beauty. Because I'm not looking at my sister or my brother or what they're wearing or how old they are, whether they're skinny or they're fat. I'm looking in their eyes and I see you. You're the same as me. It don't matter. We all bleed. We all want to be happy. We all want happiness.
We will have our humanity.
Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Humanity.
Yep.
Look at that. It's vibrant. It's alive. It's moving.
So we got to start to learn about, we got to look within for happiness. Happiness is not in this material world that the system has created, that we got to pay in order for them to poison us, in order for them to detach us from our real humanity. It's an illusion.
So there's a system there that's got an agenda to keep us all disconnected from each other.
And by being disconnected to what we truly are, then they can manipulate us and give us an illusion of freedom.
What's the solution do you think?
Detach yourself from it, and it's scary because a lot of people will say, oh my God, but I need to work, I need the car, I need to buy petrol to get a bike. There is a way of doing it, just like the lipstick. Instead of going to the chemist and buy some kind of toxic chemical that you spend $40, look in your kitchen.
Vinegar and bicarb to clean a bath, vinegar to clean stainless steel, anything. These things are all there. These are small steps. One, they're saving the environment, and two, they're not shoring up the corporation. They're not giving you cancer.
And people can say, yeah, but you're talking about small things. It starts with small things. And it's the same as your veggies and so on. Instead of going to the big supermarket and buying your veggies, which it hasn't got any minerals in there because it's been picked up green and it wasn't riped properly. Grow your own at home, even in a little pot. It doesn't matter. So, but I'm in a flat. It doesn't matter. If you've got a little balcony, the earth will give you food.
How do you conceive community?
Well, it's connection, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we were saying before that we've lost the connection.
Yeah.
We had it way back, and then we seem to have gotten this cancer that's raping the land, that's killing off what was good about us. And there we see it in Indigenous people.
Yep.
We see that they've still got this or had this until the cancer spread, and we started to take over the world and say, hey, this is a better way, but of course it isn't. It's connection with the land, connection with each other, the way we really are, not expecting people to be how we expect them to be.
So the top-down arrangement from the government who just tells you what to do and follow the bouncing ball and work as a debt slave for the rest of your life and consume and live your isolated life behind your plasma screen doesn't really serve us. It just enables their capacity to maintain control and keep us oppressed, exploited.
So go out there with a community garden, do community things. Whatever is in the community, do it. Start it. If it's not there, start it.
Songlines is something that I've heard mentioned in the Indigenous community dialect, and I see that as something that also relates to everybody here. We've lost the songline of community, right? The more we practice engaging with each other and connecting with ourselves, the better we get at it. And without engaging in it, then the longer we are disconnected. Have you got any thoughts about that?
I'd like to answer that. We here in Australia especially, we talk about songline. So automatically we think Indigenous because of the word songline, because they use, but we really don't understand what songline means. Once you understand what songline means, you see that you are part of that songline. Your culture was taken away from our culture was taken away from us long before the Indigenous people of this country. So we as white people that come from a different country think that, you know, we don't want to step over Indigenous people of this country. So we don't say anything, or we organize for them, trying to make them happy. So we are still using the system and not listening to what they're saying. We don't ask them, what does songline means to you? Can you explain to me? Me as a white person in your country, what can I do for you to help you? Instead we go there and we say to them, you should do this, you should do that, you should find important, We're still using that system and throwing blankets over them without even realizing it. Songline means connection to Mother Earth. If you really think about it, was I born with all these clothes on? Was I born that I had to make sure that I put my makeup in the morning? Was I born that I had to eat KFC and all this? No, I was born. I was free. And as soon as I was born, they packaged me up. And they gave me a name. And they got my parents to sign it. So what did I become? I become
a commodity
for the system. But in a small community before that I was free. And the whole community celebrated because there was a new life. And who were my teachers? My parents, my grandparents, my community. That was taken away from me and the system took over. And it's happened everywhere around the world. And the Indigenous people are feeling it now too. It's still happening to them because there is pockets of Indigenous people around Australia who are still living their cultural way. And the government is doing it. Why? Because they want to disconnect them from their land. We were disconnected from our land and we're lost. So what do? We try to fill in that emptiness with all this illusion. Keep us busy with all this color and all this building and so on. Keep us busy so we don't crave, and we keep on trying, you know, we start smoking, we start drinking, we eat too much, we work too much, we talk too much, and we travel.
Those are the effects.
Filling the hole.
And it will never be fitting. It doesn't matter how much money you have, it doesn't matter how many houses of power, it will never give you happiness until you take your shoes off, touch Mother Earth, and sit with Mother Earth and realize that you are not the center of the universe, that you are part of creation. This is when you become at one with your songline.
What would you say to those who would like to see all of us, our brothers and sisters, as debt slaves or eating genetically modified poisons or behind barbed wire?
You could just show them what the world really is, and then show them two sides of the coin. Just show them this so-called reality, and show them a community living off the land and growing their own food. Show them the pyramid life and and then show them the circle of people coming together to discuss what's best for all of us, and then allow them to make a choice.
But people are you say that to people and they think hippies, right? Hippies smoking dope, long hair, free sex, all that sort of stuff. But it's natural. It's the way we used to live. It's the connection. And is this better? Really? It's all the cancer, all the diseases, the unhappiness. Is this better? There's another way. It's time we went back to that. But, it's up to the individual. We were saying before, like, I come from a social work background. And there's a lot in the social work that says you must do this and you must do that. It's still keeping people in the system.
Told what to do.
Still keeping them under control. And people who want to have control often go into that sort of practice.
So that brings up an interesting point, is that we get told most of our lives to follow the bouncing ball, to comply, and that sort of reduces, I guess, our capacity to actually analytically think about what's going on. We just seem to go through life with blinkers on.
Well, asking questions, sharing information, and, turning off the TV, turning off your computer. I mean, I know that's hard. But, seeking answers. It's like if you feel there's something inside that's wrong, something in society that's wrong, go and look for answers. But you have to find them yourself. If you find anyone who's telling you should, run a mile because it's their idea, of what's right. You have it inside you that's telling you what's right. Follow that. But ask, talk to other people.
But it's hard because you look around you. Yes, we all have it inside, but you look around you and see how this system makes everybody so busy and keep their mind and eyes occupied and ears. How can they hear that little voice that it's been playing?
It's been drowned out by all the noise, and that's part of it.
And this is what the system does.
So where would Rosa Parks be today if good people didn't stand alongside her? Would she still be at the back of the bus?
Yes.
Yeah.
She still is at the back of the bus.
She still is at the back of the bus. I love your dialect, sister.
Thank you very much, because the system saw that people got too shaken up and said, oh my God, we better do something about it. Okay, let's tell them that we'll give him equal rights. Did they give him equal rights? My God. Did they give him equal rights?
I often wonder with the army, and they say the gay people, our gay brothers and sisters, can serve, and as if they've won a right. No one really in their right mind would want to be on the battlefield. And it is the most non-discriminatory work environment you can be in. It doesn't matter whether you're black, white, male, female, gay, straight, Muslim, Christian, that bullet will still sever your spine. It doesn't really care, type of thing.
There's something, and a lot of people will not agree with me. They say that, yes, we've won this fight. We've won nothing because this system... Every time, for instance, just as an example, Christians, not religion is just another
example. Yep.
The Christians, they killed them, blah 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 blah. What happened once they noticed that they could not win? What did the system do? The Romans, was it Augustus or Constantine, whatever his name was? What did he do? He said, "Okay, I can't win this. So what do I do? All right, I'll tell them that let's embrace Christianity." But what did he do? He changed it. One of the pagan, all the Christians' festivals are all pagan. He just twisted and turned it into the system, and all the Christians said, "Hey, fantastic, blah, blah, blah." We've won nothing. For instance, with gay people who are fighting for equal marriages and so on because of the system,
and women,
so you sign that paper, and the government, when they see too many people fighting for something, say, okay, let's do something because it's good for us. And they'll be talking about it now because the voting is coming. Let's give equal rights to the gay society so they won't get their votes. Once they get your votes, stuff you. They don't give a shit. They only want your votes. Why are you trying to get into the system that you do not agree with it in the first place?
Well, who authorised them?
You want to be married, you want to love a man or a woman, love them.
Exactly.
Find a house. Why do you need that piece of paper in the church for? Why do you need for them to recognise you?
Or their permission.
Once we start stopping wanting everybody else to recognize us and recognize ourselves and look at ourselves in the mirror and say, I love this person.
Yeah.
We empower them by asking them.
That's exactly right.
What we want. Why do we want it from them? We were born free. Just do it. They are not by asking them to make a legislation for us. We're giving them power over us. We need to empower ourselves.
But people don't see that this power, this sort of a dome.
It doesn't exist. They don't, will not be there if we don't give it to them.
They think that they've got to ask for rights. And it's like the Indigenous people now. They're saying, well, we're not going to ask for rights. We're telling you that we have the right to our sovereignty, to our self-determination. And it's not for you to tell me
That's right.
what I can and can't do.
And they're frightened to do that because they haven't felt that. Because since white man has arrived in Israel, and with us, we've always been told that we have to, even our own family, we have to ask. Because we have to get permission to be. Why should I? You know?
Gratitude is for the dogs, and I guess the point to make is we don't have to wait as people for permission or a scrap to be tossed to us from the table from our masters.
Okay, well, you said about a dog.
Yeah.
What does the owner do with the dog? He puts it on a leash, he feeds it, blah, blah, blah. They take him for a walk. If the dog happily, you know, wiggle his tail when he walks according to the leash, then everything goes fine. But if the dog tries to run a bit, then he pulls back. If he stays behind, the leash gets tightened. That's who we are. We are like dogs on leashes with the system. The system's got this chain around our necks. If we
ties
go
in
against it,
with the eviction of Occupy Melbourne, that seems to, you know, the people were exercising their constitutional rights.
And they were brutalised.
And they were brutalised by the state that's meant to be there representing them. Yeah, that's right.
By the state who not meant to be there to represent us, who have lied to us, who said they were there to protect us. But they were doing exactly what the system is.
But people all around the world are seeing the truth of it. Like, no, they're not representing us. They're representing themselves and the corporation and the system. They're not for us.
Julian Assange raises a point that they've just been lying to us. Wholesale lying to us, and the diplomatic releases show that they talk and collude behind closed doors and send our brothers to war, you know, for Halliburton to make their profit, you know, the expense of the human cost. And he also says that there's no decisions that can have an optimal outcome if they're not being made with transparency or accountability or the truth. You can't make a good decision if you haven't had the truth told to you.
But tell me something, would wars really happen if there was no soldiers? Would wars really exist if we didn't give them power? It wouldn't.
Would wars exist if our brothers and sisters here didn't pay tax?
That's right, thank you.
Right?
Thank you very much.
All those bombs, that's right.
Who allows this to happen?
We are complicit.
Because we are the one who buys. We are the one who are voting. We are the one that will drive in the car. Who's polluting? So there's no good for us to go on Facebook and say, oh, the environment. Who's stuffing it up? We are. We have the power. You know, we're calling our leaders bastards for doing what, and the banks. Who's giving them power? We are. So.
Can I say something there too? I mean, this recent, there was a program on the ABC about sweatshops in India.
Wesfarmers relationship. The ABC Four Corners program, and it showed the complicity between Wesfarmers and sweatshop conditions overseas.
So there's where you've got power, isn't it? Is you find out which companies are shoring that up, buying or having their products made overseas, and you don't buy from those.
Well, they're not just complicit in overseas crimes, they're complicit in crimes against the people here. There's one driver dies every 3 days in Australia, and Wesfarmers has been attributed to that by the way they squeeze the transport sector, by the way they squeeze the farmer, by the way they squeeze the worker out at the toll site at Somerton, where they're not getting the equal pay that their brothers and sisters in Sydney are getting for the same work. And meanwhile, they were arguing for a 3% pay rise over 4 years. Julia Gillard got her second pay rise of $2,500 more than she was earning the year before. So yeah, they represent their own bank accounts and feather their nest, sister, and that sort of translates in disparity of wealth and opportunity. And like you said, we weren't born slaves.
Gillard takes the money off single mums.
Yeah.
She gets this nice rise and she takes the money off single mums.
Yeah.
It's like, what's wrong with that picture?
Sorry, I'm raving on. I got caught up in the organic moment, sister. I'm really wanting to hear your voice, and I'm sorry.
I think it's nice to have this.
Yeah.
We're all giving our opinions.
Yeah.
And I know that everybody has their own opinion, and I'm not saying that we all should go and live like hippies and so on. I'm not saying that. But we have enough junk around the world to recycle what we got, and that instead of continuing mining, then let's use the crap that we have already and recycle it and turn solar power towards something that it's
there's other ways we can
healthy for everybody.
Yep.
No
coal seam gas mining.
It's a war. That's a crime against the people.
Yeah.
And the environment.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The government is full bore
on every level.
Yeah.
There it is. The way that we go to work, the way that we educate our children. Let's change the education system instead of turning into little working machines. Let's get them to learn how to grow their own things. Get grandmother and grandfather back into the school and bring them out of the classroom and take them out for a nature
I love
walk.
that idea, Susanna. Grandma and granddad back in the classroom.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
And now when I was in an Aboriginal community, I went in with an elder.
Yep.
He talked to them, he told them stories.
Yep.
He took them out, they used to take them fishing, camping, telling them about bush tucker. That was the whole thing. It's telling them medicine in the bush tucker.
Beautiful.
And what's good for you.
Yep.
And what you can use it for, other uses.
That's what school is. You're supposed to learn how to live on Earth.
Well, it's a really
That's
sick
what school
system.
is. Not because you have to learn your mathematical. Everything is mathematical in life. Music is mathematical. You're walking. Why do Indigenous people don't have that mathematical? They do. It's just not understood in the same manner that white people.
Indigenous. I don't get maths at all. See?
It's a sick system that'll separate you from medicine, make you sick, and then sell you that medicine,
which is
right?
going to kill you. It'll just prolong the.
It's the ultimate scam.
Like old people now that they're in homes. You know, what do? These poor old people, they drug them. So in order for them not to go crazy or what have you, to make it easier for the workers, they're just keeping them alive in order for them to make more money out of it.
So that pharmaceutical journey is a terrible thing for our brothers and sisters.
Do you know how many European women are on this warfarin? It's called warfarin. It's supposed to be when you get to a certain age, your blood becomes thicker. So you'll be you could have a heart attack or a stroke, blah, blah, blah. The funny part is that if you tell them, before you put them on this synthetic medicine, if you tell older people, eat more green veggies because they've got the vitamin K in it, they will do exactly the same thing, but they're not going to make any money out of it. So no, you could get a stroke, they scare the shit out of them, and then what do? They put them on this synthetic medicine and they're hooked onto it, and they can't get off it, or else they will have a stroke.
It's fear. The whole of society is based
terrible.
on
Fear, ignorance, lack of the ability to make an informed decision. Yep. I'm about to run out of tape, brothers and sisters.
Okay, thank you.
No. Just one. Have you got anything that you'd like to share as a message to our brothers and sisters about empowering themselves?
Don't look out the window. Look in the mirror and look back at yourself. Look within. And then take your shoes off and touch Mother Earth and say, what is good for me? Where do I stand?